We are on live. The death
Right.
of George Floyd, which triggered widespread protests across the United States, has been declared a homicide in an official postmortem examination. The 46-year-old suffered a cardiac arrest while being restrained by Minneapolis police, the report found. It listed Mr. Floyd's cause of death as cardiac arrest. Meanwhile, Mr. President Donald Trump vowed to use the military to end the unrest. A video showing a white police officer continuing to kneel on Mr. Floyd's neck, even after he pleaded he could not breathe. Uh, this reignited deep-seated anger over police killings of Black Americans. It has led to six consecutive days of protests around the United States and a level of civil unrest not seen in decades. The officer Derek has been charged with third-degree murder uh, and manslaughter as well, and will appear in court next week. Three police officers also have been arrested. So to discuss regarding this topic, I am here with Myia Rainey. With Myia, right?
It's Maya, but yeah.
Maya, sorry. Uh, Maya, thank you so much, Maya, for joining with us.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
she's a she's pretty busy, but she was kind enough to join with us tonight. Thank you so much once again. So first of all, you said that you are not going to be with us for much long, so I'll just get straight to the question part. So it's my like a general curiosity from my side is that is it against racism or the police?
It's against it's against the bad cops. It's against racism. It's against all of it. One of the brothers of George Floyd, he's saying we don't want violence. This is not going to bring my brother back. But he has to understand with a lot of other people who say that this is not just for him. This is not for you. This is for us. This is for people like me. I am tired. I am tired of getting pulled over and fearing for my life. I am tired of having to have to pray at night for Allah to watch over my brothers, my sisters, my daughters, for them just to not get killed by the hands of white men, white people, police officers. If you have 5 bad cops or 10 bad cops and 1,000 bad cops, 1,000 good cops are saying, oh, they're not turning them in, you have 1,010 bad cops because no one is doing anything. There were 4 cops there. There were 4 of them. People were standing there recording. Nobody helped him. He was screaming for his life. He screamed for his mom. He urinated on himself. He killed him on camera, and they charged him. But the thing about it is, a lot of cops have been charged over the years with murder. Rodney King, for example. And the cops have still been let go, sent home to their families, free. Just because they're charged doesn't mean they're going to be convicted of murder.
Right. So do you face this kind of racism when you go to work or anywhere else?
I face microaggression, racism. Of course, you have to be polite in the workplace, but when they see me, they show a little more aggression towards me, or they catch a little bit attitude towards me. Or if me and this white woman are in the same position, running towards the same job, they are going to give her, even though I'm more qualified than her, and I have the paperwork to show that I'm more qualified than her, they're going to choose her rather than me. And it's even more severe for darker skinned women. I'm a lighter skinned woman. I don't face as much oppression as a darker skinned woman with kinky curly nappy hair. I don't face that much adversity. We all are Black, but darker skinned people face more adversity, faces more racism than a lighter skinned person does.
Okay, so I've seen some videos where the protesters are looting, creating violences, they're breaking in. Is it justified because a police officer killed a black guy? Does this justify this violence or looting?
Me personally, I don't think it shouldn't go as far as looting, but a lot of people are fed up. with protesting, with rioting, let me not say protesting, with rioting comes looting. With rioting comes violence. Innocent people, bystanders, are going to get hurt because people are not thinking no more. We're tired of, we have been protesting for how long? They sweep it under the rug. They don't charge them at all. They let them go free. We are tired of protesting because it gets nowhere. So I agree with the rioters. You know, shake things up. Make them hear you. Make them hear you because they're not going to hear you if you're just peacefully protesting. We've done that before. It didn't work. Now that we've started rioting, now that they started looting, now he's being charged. Now he just now got charged with it. Just now. So we have to do all of that. We have to act a fool in order for them to listen to us. So I stand by the rioters and the protesters 100%. People from Minneapolis, keep doing what you're doing. I support you, and I'm gonna keep speaking out. And I hope my white friends and people of all races continue to speak out and stand by us too.
Right. So Gazi Ishrat Piti joined with us. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Myia, I just wanted to know if would this make a difference if people would not come out in the streets? Like, would the police officer get away with what he had done? There was no protest.
I'm sorry, what was that? Hold on, give me, what did you say?
Are you having any sound issue?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so my question is, what would have happened if people did not come out in the streets?
I feel like if people, like the coronavirus, a lot of people are worried about if people being in large crowds, they're worried about the coronavirus. And I would have to say to just, if we didn't come out into the streets, if we didn't do none of that, nothing will get done. They're saying, oh, there's another way, there's another option, but in reality, nothing will get done. They would just sweep it under the rug too. So I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I think someone's at the door.
Okay, sure. So thank you so much যারা আমাদের সাথে জয়েন করছে। জুবায়ের হাসান এত তাড়াতাড়ি বললে কেমনে বলবো? কেন আসলে কি আর করার, আমেরিকান এমনি কথা বলে কিছু করার নেই। মারুফ হাসান হচ্ছে আমাদের গেস্ট চলে আসছে। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ মারুফ, জুবায়ের, থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। Hey Myia, welcome back. Myia, sorry.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm back.
So you were saying something.
Oh yes, okay. So they're saying people being out in the parking lots and filling up the streets with a lot of people, they're scared of the coronavirus being more severe and a lot of people getting affected by it. But they have to understand, if we didn't come out into the streets, if we didn't show out for our people, nothing would have been done. That cop wouldn't have been charged. Nothing would have happened. They would have swept it under rug. They would have swept it under the rug like the Ahmaud robbery case. That would have still, they wouldn't have been charged. Like, that case is still going on with the Ahmaud one. That one's still going on to this day, and that happened some time ago.
So I just heard a news about the Derek, the police officer who had killed George. He was convicted with murder, manslaughter. So it was eventually coming on with to him. Like he was eventually get charged with this. So how did the protest matter in the end?
How did the what?
How did the protest matter in the end?
It mattered a lot, but like I said before, just because he's been charged doesn't mean he's going to be jailed. It matters that we had to do this. Like, a lot of people are saying, you know, don't riot, let's peaceful protest, but a lot of our peaceful protests haven't got anywhere. Yes, we're getting somewhere now, but I am still worried that even though he may be charged with murder, charged with a lot of things, he's only going to get the lesser sentence, because that's what happens in white America. If a white person does a crime and a black person does the same crime, the black person is going to get charged with the more severe case.
Okay, so is it about the law or the judges who convicts the people?
It's our whole system. The whole system was not meant to protect us, African Americans, Black people. It was never meant to protect us. That's why we need criminal justice reform. It wasn't meant for people like us. And a lot of evidence, a lot of cases can back that up.
Okay, great. So America is considered to be the most advanced country in the world. So if we see these scenarios in America, then what we expect in the rest of the world?
What was the question?
America is considered to be the most advanced country in the world at this moment. So if we see these scenarios in America, like racism or such things, what will we expect in the rest of the world?
I would expect a lot of people to stand by us. Like me being on live with you, I hope your fan base would protest, at least speak out. So we would have more. We need to expose this. Like people think America is the greater country because we have advanced military system. They're portraying to be something that they're not. But if you live here, if you're here and if you're Black, it's not for us. There's a lot of criminality going on with our government. They're arresting people for peaceful protesting. They're arresting people for speaking out. They gave us the option to either go home or stay. The people who went home, they went home. The people who stayed to continue to protest, they got arrested.
Okay, so Arafani Myia, a senior brother of mine, just joined. He said, what do you think, is the government or police accepting their fault, or they are just trying to suppress the movement or the protest?
What was the last part?
Is the government accepting their fault, or they just want to suppress the movement?
They're not accepting their fault. It's really close to election time. And President Trump is sending militaries to break up the protests. He's not trying to break up the protests. He actually stated, if the looting starts, the shooting starts. He has called protesters thugs, a lot of racial slurs, and he's doing other things, like he had a college forgiveness loan bill and all that. But I feel like they're doing it just to save them. They're not really doing anything to help their people. We are their people too. We are American too, but they don't see us as such. So I feel like what they're doing, they don't really care. They're just doing it for his turn.
So what does the law say? Does the government have the right to suppress this movement, to shoot people whenever they want?
No, the Constitution, we have a right to bear arms and we have the right to protest. But honestly, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm not there during the protest. Like, I've heard it's been getting really crazy. People are losing their lives. Kids are getting shot with rubber bullets and all of that. People are losing their lives and everything. I don't know how. I've never seen the videos. I've seen too many videos of people being hurt, and I'm tired of seeing them. But I feel like they will come up with something to justify what they're doing. They will come up with something.
Right. Do you think George would have wanted this all violence, looting, on the protest? He would have wanted this?
I don't know him personally, so I can't say that. But what we're doing is not just for him. It's not just for the people, the Black people who have died in the hands of a cop. It's for all of us. Like, I don't want to step out this house fearing. I had talks with my friends who he literally said he's scared to leave his house. Imagine being scared to leave your property. You're going to the store. A cop pulls you over for a tail light or something. He asks you to get out the car. He doesn't have the right to ask you that, but he's still asking you to get out the car. And you refuse. He's going to drag you out the car. He's going to beat you. He's probably going to shoot you too. And it's going to be justified by the government.
Okay, I heard that he was using a fake $20 bills to buy cigarettes.
Oh, yes, I heard he was doing fraudulent. But the thing is, this goes back to what I said. When what he did was illegal, what he did was wrong. He deserved to be arrested, put to trial, and jailed. He didn't deserve to lose his life over that. If a white person did that, they wouldn't have lost their life over that. Yes, what he did was wrong. I'm not condoning what he did, but did he deserve to lose his life the way he did? Did he deserve that? I
No.
don't think anyone deserves that. Black, white, Hispanic, no one deserved that.
Right. So if you think the protest would have come if any white people was died in that place?
I can't speak for a lot of people, but I would have. I would have stood out. I would have said something. Um, there was this thing, I don't know, maybe a year ago. ICE has been deporting people and caging babies. They've been caging babies, Hispanic babies, immigrants. People protested. Black people protested. We spoke out. We wanted justice. We wanted criminal reform and all of that. Like, the problem is, it's not white versus black. It's not us versus them. Divided we fall, united we stand. There is an issue. If there is any issue going on, I would want people to stand up with me. It's not, I don't want it to be a race war because I have right friends. I love everybody, you know? I don't want it to be divided like this. But sadly it is. It's never us versus them. It should be us versus the problem, us versus the issue. But a lot of people are making it about race, which it is, but I don't think it should have succumbed to that. But yes, to answer your question, yes, I would have, and a lot of people would have still protested if he was white.
Okay, so we've got another question from Araf Bhai. He asked, are you guys trying to have a discussion with the government regarding this issue?
Am I trying to have a discussion with the government?
Yeah.
The thing is, would they even hear us? When I've sent letters, we've protested peacefully. We've been outside the government house to get justice about them. And they'll all say the same thing. We'll hear you. FBI investigates, all that. They take them to trial. No one is jailed. A group of white protesters with guns came down to the government office demanding that the stay-at-home order be lifted. And they heard them. They did what they wanted. They did what they wanted. We don't have that right. We can do that, but it will get violent real quick if we ever did that. So we don't have the same privileges as they do. So if I went down to the government office and demanded justice, they would look at me crazy and they would tell me what I would want to hear, but behind closed doors, they wouldn't do anything.
So where does this loop end? I mean, you were protesting for killing one of your people, then the government is threatening you to kill, then you get angry more, then it goes on and on. Where does this loop end?
It ends when that cop who killed George is jailed for murder. It ends when they make us equal. Like they say we're equal and we have equal this and we have equal that. Even where we live isn't equal. Like we don't have Michigan Flint doesn't have clean water. Like we're never really equal, but they want to portray us to be. Everything will end once they start jailing racism, once they start jailing these cops who've killed people for no reason, who've killed people. That could have been prevented. What they did to him, that could have been prevented if one cop was like, get off his neck. Let's take him to jail. Get off his neck. That could have been prevented. But they were watching, they were recording, and he lost his life on camera. And it's sad to say that he probably won't be jailed.
So you think ensuring Derek's punishment will resolve this big issue of racism?
Yes, direct, because that will show other cops that it's not okay. They haven't been jailed, so a lot of cops are like, oh, we have the justice system on our side, so we won't be hurt. We won't, the most they will do is fire us. So they feel like they have a right to kill. So jailing them for murder, that will show a lot of people, a lot of racist white people, a lot of cops that you can't get away with this anymore. We're tired, we're done. If they decide not to jail him, the riots are going to be worse. A lot of lives will be lost. So I just pray this will come to the end and they do the right thing, or this there will be no peace until it does.
Right. So a worldwide pandemic is going on regarding coronavirus. So is this okay to mix up with people in public and go for protest? Is it okay? I mean, can it be a
Um,
healthy show as well?
that's kind of a tricky question because yeah, coronavirus is killing people, but it's like if we stayed home, yeah, you won't die from the coronavirus, and I won't die from the coronavirus if we stay home, but my people are still dying from the hands of racism. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation for people like us. You know, either way we are gonna die from the coronavirus or from racism. So I really think people should come out, wear masks, be safe, but stand with us. Like either way, for us, for people like us, it's a death sentence. When they see us, they see a target. So I salute people who are coming out during the coronavirus and standing with us. But as far as your question, it is dangerous, but this is more dangerous because it's human rights they're affecting. It can happen to me, it can happen to them, it can happen to anybody. They're affecting human rights. It's not a political thing, it's human rights.
Okay, so Araf Fanim Bhaiya said, as we have seen in CNN, BBC, the white people are also supporting the movement. They are also standing uh, beside them. So it should get the concern of the White House than why White House is thinking about deploying army. What do you think about it?
I don't know why they're deploying the army because it is getting crazy. People are burning down buildings. People are hurting innocent bystanders. But the thing is, why do we have to get? Thank you to all white people who are standing with us. We appreciate that. We are one. We are united. But why does it take white people to stand with us in order for them to listen? Because if it was just all black people, would they really listen in the first place? Like, why does it have to take the same race as you in order for you to listen to us? That makes us still not equal. We're still not equal because it took them to stand with us in order for you to listen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maya. So, protest erupted for seventh day across the United States over the death of George Floyd, an unarmed black man at the hands of police in Minneapolis, Minnesota. One former officer was charged with third-degree murder and manslaughter, but protesters and critics believe the charge isn't harsh enough. Thank you so much for discussing with us, Maya, for your valuable opinions. It was really great having you.
Thank you
You're
for having me.
big busy day and you're giving time. That's so generous of you. Thank you so much, and all of my friends for watch this live. Uh, we'll be glad to see you as well. Thank you so much for all of the audience who have joined with us during this 23-minute live session. And Maya, once again, thank you so much for joining with us. I hope this racism war ends soon and all of you get justice and George Floyd gets justice. And everything goes back to the normal as it was, not only regarding the George murders, but also the corona situation, which is going all over the world. I hope everything gets better, everything goes as it was. Thank you so much for uh, being with us, Maya.
No
And
problem. Thank you for having me.
I would have said good night, but it's morning in America. So have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.